Okay, exactly 8 o'clock. A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 11 March 2025, Tuesday class. So as usual, we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无药师佛。南无药师佛。南无药师佛。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนามัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามจจาปมาดัฏฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ We'll continue our puja chanting from Padipa Puja onward. Ganna sarapa ditena dipena tamadangsina diloka dipang sambuddhang pujayami tamonudang ganda sambara yutena dupena hang sugang hina puja ye puja niyang tang puja bhajana muttamang Vanna Ganda Guno Petang Etang Kusuma Santatin Pujayami Munindasa Siri Pada Sarorohe Pujemi Bedang Kusumena Nena Punnena Matena Chahotu Mukang Pupang Milayati Yata Idang Me Kayo Tata Yati Vinasa Bhavang Adivase Tunavante Paniyang Parikapitang Anu Kampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang Adivase Tunobante Pali Parikapitang Anu Kampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang Adivase Tunobante Bojanang Parikapitang Anu Kampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang. Okay, now we shall chant the Puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise a needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculty of Sada, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or power. Then sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect, Triple Gem. Bedang Pujemi. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. Today, I will help those who are new to develop better understanding of the awareness-based meditation. There are some books that you're supposed to bring along to the retreat. The two books. One is the Path to Nibbana, Awakening via cessation of form and mind. Then the second one is Ultimate Realization to Transcend Life. These two books is a typical Thursday class sharing. So they develop the transcript out of it. In fact, many Kayamita have out. And this one is very useful. So I will read from there. The section on awareness-based meditation, that is very useful. So this part is on page 3. Page 3, under section 3.1. This sharing is based on the unique Dhamma code number 97 and unique Dhamma code 100. The title is Path to Nibbana, Awakening via Cessation of Form and Mind. So after the puja chanting, we will have our second session, which is now, half an hour of awareness-based meditation. So you listen attentively. Pay attention. Just listen. The art of listening is not to verbalize. Just listen attentively. Don't try to remember. And initially, don't even try to take notes. No need. Because it's all recorded. And later on, as you develop the understanding through listening attentively, and once you understand, you will know how to develop it. You will know how to do the proper awareness-based meditation. Then you will progress. Then after that, you want to write notes, whatever short note based on your understanding, you can write down and keep the notes so that you can refer to them. The note is to help you to reflect, contemplate, and stabilize the understanding. But to learn, you don't need to remember actually, because all of your memory that you accumulate in your brain, they are actually not wisdom. More often or not, they are just knowledge. Because before you understand, you try to commit to memory. That's why memory is what we call knowledge. A lot of things that you accumulate via memory is actually facts or knowledge. They are not wisdom. Wisdom is an understanding. You cannot keep in the memory. Because when you keep into the memory, it becomes a knowledge. Because you depend on that knowledge to express it out. But if it's the wisdom, it will stay in your heart, in your nature. You know means you know. You have the understanding means you have the understanding. Then there and then, when you encounter life or a situation, you can straight away understand and share from your heart. That's why straight from the heart, unique Dhamma code come from that understanding. Okay, now you listen. Awareness-based meditation. As usual, we will have our half an hour of awareness-based meditation. We will turn off the light for you to proceed with your meditation. Just relax your body and mind. So the key thing is relax body and mind, the first support. And maintain some form of attention or awareness. When you are attentive, you do not think. That's why attention is very important. When you pay attention, means you are just aware without the thought. Then we can commence our half an hour awareness-based meditation. Always remember, awareness-based meditation is to enable us to develop the inner awareness or awareness within. There are 4 supports to help us develop awareness-based meditation. The first support is relax body and mind. So this relaxation is very important. relax into every mind state that arises, then just maintain a relaxed body and mind. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Just relax and maintain awareness. Maintaining awareness is your second support after relaxation. Then the third support is to stabilize the awareness. Then the last or the fourth support is trust, T-R-U-S-T. This fourth support you only need to do after you have developed the stability of mindfulness within. Otherwise, the first three supports are enough. That is, ability to relax, maintain awareness, then stabilize the awareness. When you can stabilize the awareness within, you will come to understand another aspect of mind, which is beyond the thinking, beyond the thought process, which is just the pure awareness nature within. With that, great understanding and joy can arise within your nature. So you just silence your mind, relax body and mind, and maintain awareness. Just do that. No need to know or do anything else, because the knowing and the doing are always by the thought. When thought is active, you are no longer aware or mindful. Make your mind alert, attentive, and aware. Just aware without thought. Whatever arises, aware. Finish. This pure awareness nature within needs to be realized and stabilized. After you can do that, your meditative mind, or the tranquil, still mind, without thought, or the silent mind within will manifest. That is your true mind, your meditative mind. That silent mind is your true mind, meditative mind. That is the mind that can develop the wisdom and insight into phenomena to awaken. Since the awareness-based meditation can help one realize the awareness nature within, we must therefore develop and stabilize it, then make use of it to cultivate the mindfulness within, to realize the meditative wisdom and understanding, to realize the meditative wisdom and understanding needed to liberate the mind. Realizing this wisdom and awareness nature within is very important. This awareness nature within is your primordial mind, or what they call your true mind. It existed before creation and is responsible for the arising of thought processes and the mundane mind or thinking mind. So this true mind is the first entity to arise or come out from our nature. We call it the pure awareness nature. To develop the meditative understanding, we need to return all our thinking. We are just being aware to this awareness nature. Allow the thinking to naturally slow down by itself. We are just relaxing and maintaining awareness. That is, don't try to do or know. Then through that process, the thought loses its ability to move or proliferate further, thus becoming very quiet. The other way to understand it is our true mind is before the stirring, before the heedless thinking and reaction, or chattering, commentary, all those Sankhara activity movement. So what happened is, most human beings are not trained in mindfulness or awareness. So during the day, most of you, or those who never train, most of them, they are heedless, think a lot, lost in thought, with the mental hindrance. That's why there is no way they can be in a natural state of inner awareness to realize the true mind. So this is the reason why most people cannot develop awareness-based meditation. So hopefully you can understand all this. Then you just continue to maintain the inner awareness. Whatever arises within the sense basis, just aware. So whatever arises, aware, and continue to maintain the silent inner awareness. Then the thinking or the mundane mind will slow down. Then the thinking or the mundane mind that we have been using throughout the day will start to slow down, and slow down until it becomes very quiet and very still. Then you will experience the tranquility and stillness of mind, thereby realizing that true mind, or silent within. The first glimpse of it is already very wonderful and beautiful. When you can stabilize it, you become even more beautiful. After you can be with that pure awareness nature, you can understand a lot of things. Then inquire, without thought, who are you? What are you? And what is that nature all about? From then on, you will become very different. You will become more aware and more sensitive. That awareness nature make you more sensitive because you are just aware and no longer distracted by the thought process, the heedless thinking, the mental activity like chattering and verbalization, and the mental states like phobia, insecurity, doubt, etc. that arise. When all those mundane activity or thinking or stirring of mind and emotion ceases, you will realize that true mind, which is so beautiful, so bright, luminous, tranquil, and still. We are just the pure awareness nature, the bright, luminous nature, which is beyond thought, beyond mind. That one can see things as they are, can awaken, can insight into phenomena, to realize the three universal characteristics of nature, namely anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay, now I will set the alarm for 30 minutes for you to develop the awareness within, so that you can train yourself in this awareness-based meditation. For those who already have the ability to stabilize their inner awareness, they can just silence their mind completely and stay at the heart area to stabilize the awareness nature further. We are cultivating the fourth support of trust. Trust your own awareness nature to develop the meditative movements. We are just silently observing without thought, or observing with the silent mind to understand what is going on within your form and mind, to understand how you function as a living being, to understand who you are, what you are. Develop all this understanding is what awareness-based meditation is all about. Okay, now I will let you meditate on your own. Then once the 30 minutes is up, I will ring the bell. Yeah? Okay. You all can slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the meditative mind state that you need to use it to go through life, to develop the daily mindfulness, the stability of it, so that you can be in the state of ever mindful, constantly meditative, which is heedfulness. Yeah. Okay, now we will recite the invocation to the Devas. Turn to page 6 of the chanting book. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe in their entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chiyakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakemokadang Dhamma Suvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Suvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Suvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Iti peso Bhagava Arahang Sama Sambuddho Vijja Charana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pachatang Veditamo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Yapatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Sami Cipatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Saukasangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. We'll continue from, I think it's 683. Yeah? So this one is volume 4, chapter 3, a parable by Master宣Hua. So we are at the section where we are discussing the 4 kinds of wisdom that comprise the power of great wisdom of Lord Buddha. So the Buddha means Sakyamuni Buddha in this case. He is replete with the paramitas of perfection of skillful means and wisdom. What are skillful means? The Buddha uses whatever method, teaching, which are appropriate to save living beings. Thus it is said, there is no standard solution. All phenomena are equal. Nothing is superior or inferior. Wisdom is also pronounced as prajna in Pali. Prajna. Oh, this is Sanskrit, sorry. Pali is Panya. Panya. P-A-N-N-A. So this prajna is Sanskrit. So wisdom is also pronounced as prajna. Then it can be perfected into a paramita. Through wisdom, one can arrive at the other shore. Means you can realize nibbana. So in the Theravada teaching or the Mahayana teaching, both use the same analogy. To realize nibbana is to realize the unconditioned, which is the other shore. Over this side is the existential world, or what we call the conditioned world, where everything is following this set of nature's law within the conditioned world. That's why we call it the dependent originating world, or condition arising world. That's why whatever that arises within, they are causal phenomena, empty, no reality, and they all exhibit the characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca in the sense that they are all dependent originating, condition arising entities or phenomena. That's why all these phenomena, they are not a permanent, unchanging entity. They arise because of causes and condition behind. So it follows causes and condition. It will evolve. It will arise, sustain itself, then it ceases. So dependent on condition, they arise. When condition continue to unfold, manifest, it will sustain its existence, just like the human body or any phenomena for that matter. Sometimes the phenomena take a longer time, but some phenomena are very short, like my voice. They are very transient, like a lot of phenomena that arise within our form and mind. They are very short, like your breath, the in and out. They are very short. Your heartbeat, the life force, the pounding of the heart. Your feeling, they come and they go. Very fast they arise and they pass away. Then also within your other activity, like your heartbeat, pulse of life, that one keep on arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Then all our movement, our activity, when we walk, the birth and death of the footstep. Then our breathing is also the same. The birth and death of that breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. Then if we are sensitive, then we can see with mindfulness within how we develop the mental aggregates of feeling. From feeling, how it become conditioned into emotion or sensation. So all these are the various mind states that manifest. So the mind state can be many. Pleasant, unpleasant, tranquil, still, agitated, restless. These are all the mind states. And they are very transient, all these phenomena. They arise and they pass away. Perception also same. Every moment we see, hear, smell, taste, tactile, feel, or think, we perceive. Then likewise, we create thought activity, mental intention, sankhara activity, mental formation, mental aggregates and movement. Then we develop consciousness every moment of life experience. As a conscious being, we can be conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactile feel and think. Then at the moment of consciousness means after sense-based contact with the respective sense data and mind, it triggers consciousness. Then within that moment when consciousness arises, it's just a pure awareness or pure consciousness without its content. But very fast, because of your sakkayaditthi, your inability to realize the Dhamma, which is the truth, living beings actually stir their mind, react to sense experience. They cannot be with the moment, to be at peace with whatever arises. So, awareness-based meditation is to develop the sensitivity of awareness to enable us to see all this, experience all this. Then we start to understand how perception arises and passes away, consciousness arises and passes away, feeling arises and passes away, mind state arises and passes away, thought arises and passes away. Then when we can see clearly, we start to understand how thought arises, how we create thought, and how through that creation process, the paticca samuppada or dwelling, the law of dependent origination manifests. And when you see all this clearly, you start to understand who are you, what are you, and how you function as a human being. Then how do you know the world? How do you interact with the world? How do you manifest as a living being? All this, you need mindfulness, you need awareness. That's why the teaching is very profound, very different. It's related to life, to existence, to the form and the mind. So the Mahayana teaching, through cultivating the Bodhisattva way, is very extensive, very profound. It's not like the normal, traditional sainthood way cultivation of the Theravada tradition. In fact, the Theravada tradition, you don't need to study so much or cultivate so much. You can develop the understanding, then transform and awaken quite easily, relatively easily, provided you understand. Otherwise, it's not easy. Okay, we go back to the notes. So this part of the sutra, the Lotus Sutra, is very important. The Buddha used skillful means because he has all the perfections of skillful means and wisdom. So whatever condition, whatever living being that he encounter, if there is condition and affinity for him to help to develop the understanding and the awakening, he has the the understanding, because he has the perfection of skillful means and wisdom. That's why this wisdom is not a knowledge, it's an understanding that he don't have to remember. He no need to carry with him all this wisdom. The wisdom that is developed is an awakening. When you are with the awareness-based mind, or what we call the true mind, the silent mind, the awareness nature, this one is without thought, because it's beyond thought, beyond mind. It's a primordial, it arises, or is already there all the while, before the arising of thought. But all thought surface from there, manifest from there. So that is the beauty. That's why awareness is different from thought. So when you understand the difference between pure awareness, nature and thought, then you become very different. You develop the understanding. This understanding is what the Buddha is capable of. And as Bodhisattva, when you go through the training, you not only develop the understanding of it, you have to actually cultivate and perfect it. That's why initially, like I explained to you, you have to realize it, a glimpse of it, that you have two minds. The most commonly understood and very often used by living beings is just the thinking mind, the mundane mind, or what we call the dependent originating mind, condition arising mind within the existential world. But there is another aspect of the mind, which is the primordial, that was there all the time. The Buddha called it the Buddha nature, or the individual's true nature, means original nature. Sometimes Mahayana call it but originally it was there. The beginningless, that nature is already there. Then from there, all things arise. That's why the Buddha, through that wisdom, that realization, that perfection, he came to know that within the conditioned world, when mind arises, mano he called it, all things arise. So mind is a forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise. So the law of karma that we learn under the teaching, they are the what we call cetana driven, or mental intention driven. That's why it's called the moral causation. So the Buddha always used the word, it's cetana that I call karma. Without mental intention, that's why there is morality within. Mental intention got moral and immoral. So moral causation means there is a mental intention behind. That's why it manifests as law of karma. So the mundane mind, the form and mind that arise through the karmic process is subject to the law of karma. That's why because of the law of karma, there is samsara, birth and death, cycle of birth and death, the unending cycle of birth and death, or what we call samsara. Then when you meditate, you realize that true mind, the pure mind, which is also our individual nature within, and when you become the Buddha, you call it the Buddha's nature, or your true nature, your original nature. And that nature is not a being. It cannot come out and live life. But that nature is capable of direct seeing things as they are. It can insight into phenomena to realize the three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. It can see things as they are. Jnana dasana, leading to wisdom, prajna. And what I want to explain to you is this wisdom is an awakening. It's not a knowledge that you can read up and commit to memory, then you think you have. No. And because it is an awakening, once it arises, it is with your nature already, all the time. Because that nature, that insight in the phenomena, or through the silent observation of what is, seeing things as they are, will awaken. Once it awakens, the wisdom is already within. That's why the Buddha called it yoniso manasikara. Wisdom at the moment of sense experience. Then after that, the form and mind that has this awakening or wisdom can develop all the understanding. That the moment he starts to live life, every moment of perception, every moment of sense door contact, this so-called yoniso manasikara, which is the prajna or the wisdom that is developed, they will manifest. That's why spontaneously it will prompt you. Then there is no more delusion. You cannot deceive by what you see, what you perceive, what manifests within that conditioned world. The phenomenal world of consciousness, the phenomenal world of form, they lose their power to delude you, confuse you. That's why when you have that wisdom and awakening, the whole phenomenal world of consciousness and form, they will collapse in front of you. That's why leading to your ability to realize the collapse of your mundane mind, leading to the true nature shining forth. When you cultivate until the mundane mind ceases, then that pure supramundane mind will arise. Your true pure awareness nature, they will arise. Then it's like the cloud that clouds the sun's ray disperse, suddenly clear, everything is clear. Then the sun's ray shine forth. That is your pure awareness nature. It was there all the while, like the sun's ray, all the while. Whether got cloud, no cloud, it is there. Obscure or what, it is there, ever shining. That's how you will understand. Then this nature, for those going through the Bodhisattva way, the Mahayana way, is very extensive. They not only have a glimpse and become enlightened through the sainthood way, like I explained last Tuesday, but they cultivate that mind to develop profound understanding. That's why they take the 4 basic vows of the Bodhisattva. First, out of love and compassion, they vow to take across all living beings to the other shore, to free them from suffering. So this is out of love and compassion. They vow to take across all living beings, the countless living beings. Then after that, they vow to endure and severe all suffering. This is developing the wisdom so that you cannot be afflicted anymore. Suffering cannot arise anymore. Because condition that need to be endured, you know how to endure. Then because of the wisdom, you can severe all dukkha, or what they call suffering, that can be conditioned due to delusion. So ability to endure and severe all suffering, you need wisdom, you need understanding. That's why that one you cultivate. Then after that, the third stage of Bodhi mind development is you will have the mind that can illuminate that nature. Means you not only detect the gateway to that nature, you not only have a glimpse of it, assess it, and know what the awareness nature is, but you go in through the gateway to develop the trust, the fourth support, to continuously open up your heart area so that you can illuminate that nature within. When you can do that, you become very different. But the awareness nature is beyond thought, beyond mind. It's very powerful. It's capable of a lot of things. It's the depthless element, unending, undying. Like Hui Neng, after the fifth patriarch explained to him the Diamond Sutra, he came to great awakening. Then he exclaimed, how amazing that this nature of ours is already perfect by itself. That all phenomena, all things arise from this nature. So when you realize that, when you illuminate that nature, it becomes so clear, you will have profound understanding of life, existence, both the phenomena, conditioned world and the unconditioned world. That's why that realization is very different, very complete, very extensive. Then all of the Dhamma that is taught by the Buddha can be understood. Yeah. So that is the extent to which the Mahayana Bodhisattva will go. Then after that, they don't stop there. But the third stage of Bodhi mind development is already very beautiful. But there are two more stages. After you can illuminate until that nature is like completely clear to you, then you understand what creation is, you understand what samsara is, you understand both the conditioned and the unconditioned. Then you cannot be deluded anymore. That's why the fourth stage of Bodhi mind development is that Bodhi mind that has that type of perfection and wisdom that can renounce samsara. Samsara, no more problem already. No more like deluded living being trying to complain, wow, takes so long. Too long. Cannot. Then there's a lot of story. Some, they come out with a lot of this type of story. They say, they find that the Bodhisattva wait too long. They decide certain time. They want to go the Arahant way, finish. Gone. Of course, people do that. But it's your choice. Basically, it's empty. He know you, he know me. But the cultivation part, if you don't have the understanding, you will have that type of thought telling you, I don't want to continue. The I, the ego is still there. Then I want to stop and go the Arahant way, so that once and for all, everything ends. That is your understanding at that time and your choice. Because that form of mind is not you. That form of mind that tell you all this and develop all this is not the supreme vehicle. The so-called Sama Sambuddha's mind. The perfection of all wisdom. Then after they renounce samsara, they can continue to come without problem at all. And every arising and coming as a bodhisattva after that is so rewarding, so beautiful, so meaningful. That's why they have this saying, once you know the supreme vehicle teaching, like the Heart Sutta, the Lotus Sutra is mentioned, when you realize true emptiness, existence becomes wonderful. 真空妙有. Then every life that manifests after that is so meaningful, so beautiful, that you can realize all of the pristine beauty and wonders of life every time that form and mind arise, through wisdom, through love and compassion. We are the Bodhisattva way. That's why it's very, very different. It's so rewarding. So all this is what the Bodhisattva way is all about. The Sama Sambuddha's cultivation is all about. Then the last phase, or the fifth stage of Bodhi mind development, is Bodhi mind that reach the accumulation of the perfection of the 10 perfection. So when they have completed the cultivation of the 10 perfection, they realize Anuttara Samyat Sambodhi, the Sama Sambuddhahood. And that one is the perfection of wisdom leading to the 10 perfection, transforming that nature into a Sama Sambuddha. And that is the highest that any living being can realize or achieve. And that being has such wisdom, it can take all beings across. It can have all the skillful means and wisdom to teach, to share, and to let living being cultivate with understanding. So this is the meaning of this paragraph. Okay, then we continue. He is extremely kind and compassionate, never growing weary of doing good deeds that benefits everyone. So the great being or the Bodhisattva or the Sambuddha, they are not like other cultivator. Of course, you can at different stages of your cultivation develop the understanding to be extremely kind and compassionate. But after a period, they also can grow weary of doing all these things, where the mundane mind come in and tell them a lot of things. But the Samasa Buddha and the great being, they don't have even that thought. Because not so real, not what you think. That's why it's different understanding, completely different understanding. You are using the thought to reason, to like analyze and come out with all the so-called mundane concept or understanding of what this thing is. That's why the sutta is very beautiful. The Lotus Sutra is said, the Buddha is extremely kind, compassionate, and never developed that idea of tired or weary of doing such work that can benefit the countless living beings. Then the commentaries. With kindness, the Buddha brings joy to living beings. The Buddha fulfills living beings' wishes for happiness. With compassion, the Buddha uproots all of suffering and afflictions of living beings. Actually, here they have to rephrase it a bit. The Buddha cannot uproot all your suffering and affliction. If can, he will do it. Because the Buddha can only show you the way, teach you how to develop it. You have to cultivate yourself. You have to walk the path yourself. Like the Buddhist hymn by BGF. Buddha merely showed the way. We ourselves must walk the path. Buddha merely showed the way. So that is the essence of it. The Dhamma is there for everybody to realize, to awaken to. Then this Dhamma is pacetang, like the Buddha say, can only be realized by the wise who has cultivated correctly, each by themselves. That's why this Dhamma is pacetang, veditabbo, vinohiti. So all these are clearly taught So if you are true cultivator of the way, seeker of truth and Dhamma, then you will understand all this. Yeah. That's why the commentary also explain it very well. With compassion, the Buddha, but here uproot all suffering is, you have to adjust it a bit. The Buddha taught the living being how to develop the cultivation to uproot all suffering and affliction of living being. So under the 4 basic vows, you look at it, that's why the Bodhisattva that go this way, they vow to take across all living beings. Means you must have the skillful means, the wisdom, the perfection of it to do this work. Otherwise, that vow cannot be fulfilled. Then the second Bodhisattva vow is to have the ability and the wisdom to endure and severe all suffering. If you yourself cannot endure and severe all suffering, how can you teach people to do it? It's very obvious. That's why all these are like meant to be. Then the third vow is to cultivate and perfect all wisdom until they realize the perfection of prajna paramita. Then after that they vow to complete the training, to cultivate the 10 perfection until the realization of Samma Sambuddhahood, Anuttara Samyat Sambodhi. So all these are taught. So hopefully with this explanation is clearer now. Then I read on. The Buddha never tired, slack off, or want to take a break. No matter how painstaking or enduring the work is, he does not rest, nor does he become lazy or tired. What is the Buddha's work? The Buddha's work is to teach and transform living beings, leading them all to Buddhahood, the supreme vehicle. This is similar to the vow Ananda make. Ananda also followed the Mahayana, make this vow. If there is still a single living being that has not realized Samma Sambuddhahood, I vow not to realize Nibbana, the unconditioned. So if you look at the Theravada Sutta, it also confirms something. During the time of the Buddha, you realize or not, a lot of his disciples live until 120 years old. But the Buddha himself, 80 years old. Why? How come? Because like the Lotus Sutra says, he never rests. He got no enough rest. That's why he told Ananda, when he told him that in 3 months' time, he will enter into Parinibbana. He will cease to be. And that Ananda was very worried, like very sad. Then he pleaded to the Buddha at that time. He said, please, please, don't leave us. He said, we still need you. Then you know what the Buddha told him or not? He said, I have already shared and taught 45 years. That is enough, he said. Then this physical body of his, because he got not enough rest, every day he slept less than 2 hours. No? He said it's like a worn-out block cut now. You know what is a worn-out block cut now? Any one time it will break down already. You know? If someone asks him to carry this around, that's why I say, no need. Then it seems in the Surangama Sutta, there was one Mara that actually wanted the Buddha to pass away fast so that they can do their work and disturb the cultivator and all that. Then the Buddha told him, He said, don't worry, he said, I have given my word. In 3 months' time, I will come to pass. He will go into Parinibbana. That's what he told Ananda. Then this Mara, very, I don't know how to use the word. That type of character, how you name it. It's not shrewd, no. He like full of joy and say, oh, that's good, he say. After you no more, I will wear your robe and this guy like you and teach the wrong teaching, he say, and destroy the Sangha. He say. That's why宣化 call it the 末法世界, the decadent of the Sasana. So, the first thing to disappear is the Surangama Sutta, because the Buddha mentioned, as long as the Surangama Sutta regarding the 50 different samadhi of the wrong practice and the Mara, the teaching is there, the world will not have the Dhamma ending age. So this Dhamma ending age can come to an end is because the Surangama Sutta no more. Then like explained in the Surangama Sutta, monks will start to behave differently. They will not have the understanding anymore. Then they will move away from what is being taught. So, as per the Buddha's instruction to Ananda before he passed away, it's all in the Parinibbana Sutta. You read through the Parinibbana Sutta, you will understand all this, or you will come to know all this. So it seems Anuruddha at that time told Ananda that you must act fast, because 3 more months the Buddha no more. You must ask him, after he is gone, who shall we follow? Which disciple and all those things. And you know what the Buddha told him or not? He said no, he does not want to assign a successor. He said, after his Parinibbana, the monk's precept is that so-called Patimokkha or monk's precepts means the and the Dhamma. He said these 2 will become your guide. Means you must follow what has been laid down. But he did mention some of the minor rules of the precept you can do away with it. But the major rules, the major offense, you must not do away. If you deviate from this, the Dhamma ending age will arise. Then whatever that is being mentioned as the Dhamma or the truth, you check it against the Sutta, is it? And the Patimokkha. If both the Sutta and the Patimokkha also match, then that is the Dhamma that he has taught. But if you cannot find them inside his teaching and his Patimokkha, then that is not the teaching. So that advice is very important. So to really cultivate the precepts or the monk's precept at that time, because the monk, they have to go through the training, Sekha and Aseka. Those that are beyond training is not subject to the precept anymore. But those who still need training, you need the precept to keep you on track. Otherwise, you will debate. So Sekha are those still under training. Aseka are those beyond training, no need already. Then these so-called precepts, or what they call the major rules, and the Dhamma, take them as your training instrument, or what he called be your teacher. So all this is clearly explained. That's why you don't have to worry about Dhamma ending age and all those things. If you have the awareness-based training or awareness within, you will not deviate. You will not go and do one-pointedness, energy field, absorption, meditation, and all those things. You will know how to develop that pure understanding born of the direct seeing. And you will insight into phenomena and develop clear understanding. Where this one, the Surangama Sutta's 50 Divine Samadhi cannot affect you. Those that do the energy field on the thought-based meditation, the one-pointedness, or jhana practices, if you do that, there is energy field, is thought-based. Then the 50 Divine Samadhi will manifest to make you believe that these are fantastic meditative mind state. It's like you have super ability, psychic ability, and great manifestation. Sometimes even night also become daylight, bright. Then you have psychic ability to read mind, to travel, penetrate all the elements and all those things. Then you have divine eye. Then you can see past life and all those things. So if you are not careful, not tactful, then you can get yourself entangled. Then you can be deceived or deluded. That's why under the teaching, there is what the Buddha taught, the 10, what they call, when you go through the Surangama Sutta, they call it the 50 Divine Samadhi. But under the Theravada Sutta, you do the, you are trapped. It's like you progress, you have continuous sati, piti, everything. It's like you have become enlightened. But this is a delusion. They call it, there's a name, I forgot what delusion already. Never mind. When I recall, I tell you. So, you have to avoid that one. The deviant, not deviant, what is the name of it? It's like, these are very good. What is it?
Upakilesa.
Yeah. Oh, in be there. I was looking for you. I didn't see your name. Yes. Upakilesa. Yeah, correct. These are what they call, the English word is what? Deviant, not deviant.
Defilements. Kilesa. Defilements.
Defilement of insight. Yes. Thank you. Upakilesa. Defilement of insight. It's a type of insight, but it's a defilement. If you get trapped, you really stuck there. And this normally happen to people who are developing the sainthood way. Then they will reach one stage like, wow, their mind state is so fantastic. It's like they are throughout the day ever mindful. Continuous mindfulness. There are a lot of piti, a lot of sukhang. Then like they check with the sutta. Wow, they walk also very light. They like float and So that type of insight, they someone can see quite a lot of things. Then they go and read the sutta. It's like the so-called there is one tradition that teach this type of what they call the vipassana one. 16 stages of insight knowledges, is it? Amy, correct or not?
Yes, yes.
So they will go and check that one. No, then it's like they have them. They somehow interpret like they have them. No? Then they thought they already complete the training. No? They already realize. So then the ego manifests. So then this defilement of insight will trap them and come back to haunt them. No? Then they start to have the idea of like want to come out and teach and share. No? Then as they come out, they entangle with problem. Where people challenge them. No? Then they finally realize they are not at that stage where they can answer and cope with all these so-called challenges, question and understanding. Because in the first place, when you don't have the true understanding, people will come and challenge you and question you. And there are a lot of cultivators who can ask you very funny questions. And if you don't know how to attend to all this, you will try to like challenge them or try to prove to them that you have the understanding. Then you end up in misunderstanding, conflict. That's why a lot of them get into trouble. And during the early days when I was going through the cultivation, in fact, there are quite a few that were same time with me on. Then later on, they also developed the jhana and everything. They also have very good meditative experience and understanding. Then they want to teach. Then when we met for sometimes we call it the supper, then they asked me, they say, hey, how you teach? I said, these people come with this style of question, all those things. Then I just smile. I say, yeah lah, not that easy lah. I also low profile. I say, I also don't want to answer a lot of questions that is not relevant. No point. If they want to be right, let them be right. That's why I come up with the 3 types of conditions. No right, no wrong. Then we just respect each other and we share the Dhamma. Then whatever that is useful, take it, use it. So Dhamma sharing, not a one-way traffic. Means no authority over the other person. Then only they start to develop the understanding. Because they say a lot of things, if you don't have the awareness base and the wisdom, you cannot explain a lot of things. So all this is part and parcel of the defilements of insight that will surface. So the only solution you can have is, my advice to all Kayamita early on is the same. Don't be, what is the word? Start with C. Complacent. Understand? When you become complacent, you will be trapped in the defilement of insight. Because you thought you have already done it. Understand? You thought you completed it already, ultimately. Then you become complacent. Then you will start to fall into that defilement of insight. So cultivation, when you don't have the understanding, is not so straightforward. But when you have the understanding, it's actually very clear and very easy, very straightforward. That's why everything boils down to understanding. That's why I say, don't be in a rush to progress. Take your time. Okay, go back to the note. Almost 10 o'clock. I have to stop it somewhere already. Okay, I think we stop there. As long as even one living being has not attained Sammasambuddhahood, Ananda will not become a Buddha either. This is the great vow. Okay, we stop here. We'll open up for reporting of meditation or Q&A. This is the session where you can ask me any question regarding the Dhamma, the meditation, or whatever that you cannot understand, you can ask. The other one is also how to apply what you have learned, the Buddha's teaching, to help you understand life, live life, and develop the ability to free your mind so that you do not have to go through the suffering or affliction anymore. Then earlier on, the sharing on the defilement of insight is in the Lotus Sutra. There are 10 defilements of insight, but Mahayana got 50 different samadhi. But for Theravada sainthood way is simpler, just 10 defilements of insight.
Brother Teo, I wanted to ask how we should approach your teaching. Whether we should make notes or just listen. Because all this while when we attend lectures, we always write down notes. After that we to refer back. If not, sometimes we will forget what was
definitely. Definitely. Very good question. So, like I answered Brother Chan, because the condition is such that there were very good conditions, because not many people have this understanding. And what I have shared with Kayamita is, I just tell them the direct answer, but I didn't explain much. But this time, your Brother Chan is new, and the wife, they are very sincere. That's why I explain it further. I think it's useful. You should record it. You say it brings about a sharing that I had in Klang. I think about 10 years ago when I was at Sister Nancy and Beresia's house. They invite us for house dana. In fact, for a few house dana. But that first one was a very useful one. And I delivered a Dhamma talk at that time. And the title is The Essence or the Essential Dhamma of Lord Buddha. This one, Sui Pin already. The Essential Dhamma of Lord Buddha. So this transcript is very important. So before I share this, I will explain first. You see, most people, when you listen, you scared you forget. So what you do? You tend to listen, then try to write notes. But luckily, what we did was, in the early years, when Sister Lee was around, Miss Lee Siugek, he invited me to Wuping Singsa to share the Heart Sutta. It's a Mahayana Vihara. The abbot was early on the famous Poen Sanglao. So at that time, I tell myself, I say, Miss Lee, I'm English educated. You asked me to teach Heart Sutta there. And it's a Mahayana Vihara. I cannot teach in Mandarin. I say, well, I'm English educated. I can only teach in English. Oh, he said, no problem, brother. Your teaching in the Dhamma in English is very good. So he said, we need somebody who had the understanding to teach. That's why I went there. Then I was there for a few years, I think. I finished the Heart Sutta in 15 months. Then the condition arises, she go and take short notes. That's why when I told Chan, don't try to take note. Sometimes it's also not so correct in the sense that if there is condition for Dhamma to arise, you take note it can be a blessing in disguise. So what happened was, Miss Lee was so interested, and he was really determined, because after the teacher, Poyen Changlao, passed away, he didn't learn enough and develop the understanding. That's why he was looking for teacher. Then I think he went through a phase of depressive state, mind state or what. Then he met me through a Kayamita who recommended. Came there, he recovered now. That's why he was full of joy. Then invited me. So when I was there, I shared this over 15 months. Every week, he will produce the short notes and send to me. He said, Pratyu, can you check so that I can print the note for sharing next lesson? The first one I read, totally out. Because she cannot comprehend what I share. But luckily, the words were there. The words were there. So these words are like, remind me of what I share, like pointer like that. Except the way she write the note, all due to her lack of understanding, all not correct, haywire. So I said, okay, you let me work on it for a while. So initial one, it took me almost a day to finish, because so much thing that is not correct. So I finally decided I have to try to recall what I share. Then from the pointer, I recall. And normally my style is, I cannot repeat and write them down. I cannot prepare note. Because that is not my style. My style is straight from the heart. If I have the Dhamma, I will teach. So at that time, I just came out not long. So what happened was, I started to write. Then when I started to write, because of the pointer, like all this transcript book, it came from my teaching, but because it's in a transcript already, when I read through this note, it will remind me of what I share. Then from that nature, more things will come out. So because of that, I did the first 3, I remember. But every time I did one, improvement. The second one, much better already. Then the third one, even much better already. And then the later one, all become better and better and better. That's why I actually did this whole Heart Sutta book. All the chapters that we have come from that one. So in that sense, she take note is good. But like I say, you take note is knowledge, because she cannot understand the initial one or wrong one. So what is more fruitful is, you just listen. Like I explained to you earlier on. If you listen attentively with a clear mind in pure awareness. Means when you are attentive, you don't think. You don't go and have doubt inside there. Because most people compare note on. Last time I learned from this monk, this teacher, or the book that I read. Not like that one, no. How come Brother Theo teach so different one? And I have many people who tell me, but Theo, initially I got a shock on my life. But what you teach is opposite of what I learned. No. And a lot of things people cannot follow initially. So over the years, I came to develop all this understanding. Then I realized these people are not listening. They are actually behind doing a lot of comparison. Cannot be lah. All along, even monk also don't teach like that one. There was one meditator, I remember, he said, but you, I want to ask you that question very long. I said, what is it? He said, the monks scolded me when I returned to the heart, no. But you are the only teacher who teach me to go to the heart, no. So all this I went through during the early years. So people cannot understand. But then they listen, they know what I share is different. And I can explain all this. That's why the teaching came out different. So because of that, when you listen, you don't go and do it like normal people. We are even in the school also same. Sometimes the topic is so new. Take for example physics, chemistry. You never learned before. Form 1 to Form 3 don't have such pure science subject. Then when it's first time taught, especially physics, but very funny, I like physics, I like chemistry, I like maths and all those things. So for me, no problem. I listen, I understand. I listen, I understand. Then I also taught my daughter how to study the Form 5. I said, you must do with understanding the maths, the physiology. I said, very easy one. When you understand, it's very easy. But when you don't understand, you try to commit to memory, then that one is knowledge, not the real understanding. Then when they set the question not according to the normal format, means from first principle they want you to have understanding to solve, which is not like question that haven't come out before. You don't know how to do it. So what they do is partial series. They practice a lot. They try. Then that one they can do, but no use. Because most of these are not from first principle without proper understanding. So when you have the understanding, it comes from listening. So most people when they listen, they either fall asleep or doze off or the mind wander off. Sloth and torpor. Why? Because that subject, they cannot understand. They got no interest at all. No passion at all. But when you have the interest and passion, like I never fall asleep when it comes to physics, chemistry, science subject, even biology and maths. Because these are the subjects I like. Then some people, when they listen, they have a lot of thought coming in. Then they try to attend to it. Oh, that one. When you attend to those thoughts, or your unfinished business or something that you recall that you have to do, then you will be lost there and preoccupied in that thinking and thought. Then you cannot be attentive. Then sometimes if the teacher know that you are not paying attention, then he call you. Then you cannot answer. Because you don't know, because you didn't follow. So all this is what we call the art of listening. Dhamma is different from knowledge. If you want to have knowledge, then you listen, you make note. Or you do all the recording, then go back and listen, then transcribe it out, then all the wordings are there. Then you read and try to develop the understanding. So you can take note, not to say you cannot take note, but after you listen, then you take note. You don't believe me? When you listen with understanding, whatever note you write down, it becomes very clear. They're from your own word, and it's very accurate. Then when you do it that way, that note is very useful. Why? Because it acts as a condition for you to recall that Dhamma that has been explained or expounded and you have listened to it before. If you cultivate before from the past, your nature will know. Well, this word strike you one. You get attracted to it one. Like you know this one important. Then what happens is, after you write it down, you can write it down, means like in the school when you study, you open up the textbook, then you read, like very easy to understand, correct? But when you close the textbook and ask you to write it out, you realize initially you cannot. Not until you become very familiar and very skillful. Then you can write it out. You can write it out. Without looking at the textbook, you can write it. That is, after listen, you understand, you put in the short note yourself. Then this short note, when you read, you will understand. Then it will stabilize. Because you already listen to it attentively and develop the initial understanding. That's why when you contemplate, reflect, and inquire, that is the second turning wisdom. We call it Chintamaya Panya. So when you reflect, contemplate, and inquire into the teaching. Why did the Buddha say that? How can I understand it? There is a second turning. That's why the Buddha said, this Dhamma or this teaching or this dukkha that is proclaimed under the first noble truth reality is to be understood. That means you have to understand it. Yeah. So understanding it is not a knowledge. It needs to be understood. So how can I understand what is dukkha? The cause and arising of dukkha, the cessation of dukkha, and the path that leads to the cessation. Means the whole Four Noble Truths. Otherwise you cannot. So now I will read to you the essence or the essential Dhamma of Lord Buddha. Yeah, so you on it. Okay, you listen. Introduction. Before the introduction is this talk that I delivered at Nancy's house in Klang and the late Brother Sia house is titled The Essential Dhamma of Lord Buddha. It's based on a direct transcript from the recording of Brother Theo's Dhamma Sharing held at Brother Sia and Sister Nancy's house, Dana, dated 20th June 2015. So almost 10 years ago. So introduction. Just relax yourself. Get yourself seated and maintain some form of saddha, virya, and attentiveness. Why did I add in the word attentiveness? Attentiveness is when you are attentive without thought, you are in sati. That is the third spiritual faculty. But if you use the word sati, people cannot understand. But when I use a more common English word like to pay attention. So when you are able to pay attention, that is very important. Means you are attentive without thought. That's why J. Krishnamurti used this sentence. Your ability to be, he used the word attentive also, I think, attention. The ability to know that you are not attentive. But he phrased it in a very nice way, you know. Yeah. No, when you are aware of your inattention, means you are not attentive. That is awareness, is it? He worded it very well. I forgot already. Later, if I remember, I tell you. The awareness of inattention is attention. He worded it very well. Means when you know that you are not aware, not attentive, that is, at that moment, that is awareness. But the awareness that is aware that the mind has wandered off, that is, at that moment, is attention. That's why attention is awareness. So I read again. Just relax yourself, get yourself seated, and maintain some form of saddha, which is faith, virya, spiritual zeal, or what they call tenacity of mind to go this way, and attentiveness. Attentiveness is silent awareness before the knowing, which is sati or mindfulness. Develop the understanding of this. When you are attentive without thought, that is your silent inner awareness before the knowing. Before the knowing means before you even perceive or arise the aggregate of mind to think. The moment you are attentive without thought, you are already in the state of sati. That is a pure awareness nature without thought. So when you are attentively listening without thought, that is true listening, or the art of listening. So that's why I say that is what we call the art of listening. When you listen without verbalization, this is what a lot of people do. They verbalize inside. You are talking to yourself, understand? Then, without chattering, means you don't talk to yourself, you don't verbalize, you don't chatter, without any reaction from your knowledge or memory. Reaction is your stirring of the mind. When you perceive something through your seeing or hearing or smell, taste, tactile or thought process, you tend to stir your like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant. So this one is reaction from your memory and knowledge, or conditioning and belief system. That is the silent mind listening. So now you understand. This is very clear. If you can stop all your chattering, your verbalization, your commentaries and all those things, means you completely attentive, silent. That is the real listening. That is from your nature, away. You just listen with an open mind. Now, open mind means no prejudice, no question, no doubt. You don't have to compare or like the commentaries and verbalization, or they call comparison or analysis. No need. And you don't have to use the thought to try to justify whatever that has been spoken or shared. So have an open mind. Then whatever you listen, you can absorb very clearly. But you are only paying attention to what has been shared. That's why the art of listening is you listen. No prejudice. Have an open mind. No right, no wrong. But as you cultivate, you develop the understanding, then what happens is, whatever you listen, you can absorb very clearly. Then if it is something not in accordance, you will also understand, but you will not prejudge. Means you let the speaker speak. Then when you listen, then you know the speaker don't have that clear understanding, then it's okay. You just let things be. He is the way he is. The understanding like that, condition like that, he will speak like that. No right, no wrong. You just move away. That's it. But if the Dhamma is there, the understanding is there, you will pay attention, because you will come to know this person who speaks, his understanding is higher than you, more than you. Otherwise, he cannot speak like that. He cannot make something that is not easy a topic to become so easy to understand and so clear. Means that person has to understand. Otherwise, he cannot describe it to you so clearly. And he may not use the Dhamma word on. He can use his own word on. And this is where the art of listening come in. When you have this ability, you learn very fast. You can also filter. That's why the Buddha's meaning when he say ehi paseko, because this Dhamma, he say, is the truth. It will stand up to investigation. So how do you investigate? Listening attentively without prejudice. Then, if it's correct, you will know, because the thing that is said will be very profound, very deep, and way beyond your understanding. But if it's not, you will also know. Then they have some form of understanding, but their level is at the level they are. You will also know. Then you will also rejoice, sadhu. Then you can walk away, no problem. Then sometimes there is condition for them to learn something. Then you will stay and see how it goes. Then you can manifest to help when there is affinity and conditioning. So this is how you learn. So I read on. You will also understand, but you will not judge. So Dhamma is about learning how to silence your mind more and more. See, the more you can silence your mind without verbalization, chattering, means your sati is there already. Your understanding is there already. But this noise inside the mundane mind is actually the mundane thinking, the mundane mind state, sankhara activity. So the Buddha already says, Sabbe Sankara Anicang, Sabbe Sankara Dukkhang, it brings about suffering. Then you think and think and think to become miserable over nothing. For what? No point. That's why with that understanding, you become different. So Dhamma is about learning how to silence your mind more and more, so that you are more and more attentive with the true mind. And be more attentive with your awareness nature within. The moment you are attentive, you are already aware in the state of awareness, sati. So today, before we start the Dhamma sharing, we would like to once again thank the host, Brother Sia, Sister Nancy, and family, to come, for hosting this wonderful house dana, for us to have the condition to come and partake in all this wholesomeness. And together, we can also have this rather meaningful gathering of Kayamita, come fellowship. So shall we rejoice together? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Then the rest you go back and read. They are very important. Maybe this first part I finish it off. Precept and virtue. This is how you start your cultivation. I like to thank all Kayamita who can make it to this house dana today to partake and rejoice in all this wholesomeness. At the same time, we can learn to develop more of this good mind state, which are very wholesome and virtuous. Then virtue is very important. Virtue are your goodness, your kindness, your gentleness, your whatever good mind state, like love and compassion. They constitute all the wholesomeness. A person who can keep his precept has virtue, because when you keep your precept, you don't have any negativity. If you are a virtuous person, you are incapable of negative thought. That is why you cannot violate the precept. You cannot kill, you cannot harm, you cannot deceive, cheat, or commit sexual misconduct. And you cannot give rise to inappropriate speeches that can hurt and harm people. You will not consume intoxicant that will make your consciousness very low. And because of that, the Buddha said, keeping your precept or cultivating virtue is the source of true happiness, true spiritual wealth, and true spiritual peacefulness of mind. The monk will chant this in Pali for you to understand after having administered the 5 precepts. They will chant, Imani Panchasika Padani. So the translation is, these are the 5 precepts. Panchasika is the 5 precepts. Then they will chant, Silena Suganti Yanti, Silena Bhoga Sampadan, Silena Nibunding Yanti, Tasma Silang Visote. So the meaning is, virtue is a source of true happiness. That's why it is Suganti. Then virtue is a source of true spiritual wealth, Bhoga Sampada. Then Silena Nibundinyanti means virtue or sila is a source of true peacefulness of mind. Therefore let virtue be purified, or sila be purified. Means you keep your precept well. Hence keeping precept can bring about a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. You must learn how to develop this happiness and joy. Sadhu is rejoicing in the wholesomeness of others. When you are able to witness them doing all this wholesomeness, you rejoice by saying sadhu. We can rejoice in other people's generosity, sincerity, and faith, seeing how they help prepare the offerings. They help prepare and offer all these offerings. All this can lead to a lot of wholesomeness. There is a lot of synergy too, because for cultivators who understand, they not only rejoice, but they will radiate their pure wish, and in return, all those who have partake in this dana offering will also receive all these merits. Just like the monk, if you support them, they support you back in kind, in the form of Dhamma sharing, via their understanding. They will rejoice. They will help you invoke the appropriate pure wish. Then they will also chant for your blessing and teach you the Dhamma. In return, you receive spiritual wealth. So that is why the Buddha says sila or virtue is not only the source of true spiritual, true happiness, it is also the source of true spiritual wealth. Spiritual wealth is wealth that cannot be taken away, not like materialistic wealth that can disappear. spiritual wealth is accumulated within our spiritual nature. And when you connect via your meditation, it will support you all the way. Then when you keep your precept or virtue, you will have a lot of mental peace. That's why it's a source of true peacefulness of mind, the serene, calm, and tranquil mind. The mind will have little or no restlessness and problem, because when you keep your precept, you don't harm, you don't kill, you don't cheat, you don't deceive, and you will not do all those wrong things. Hence, you will have less problem, less fear, less worry, less anxiety. That's why it can kick in samadhi or develop the meditative training to be in the state of awareness. You don't have to confront civil society's law like police case and all those crime-related issues. And because of that, you can sleep well. You don't have to worry about people coming after you to take revenge. You are more peaceful. If you violate your precept, you will have a lot of fear, a lot of worry, anxiety. Then when negative karma ripen, they will condition you into suffering and misery, causing your mind to be restless, giving rise to fear, worry, anxiety. That's why there is no peace, and you become heedless. Fear is the main mind state. But once you keep your precept, your mind becomes more peaceful and calmer. That's why it is the source of true peacefulness. True peacefulness can bring about a lot of good mind state for you to develop the meditation. That's why after cultivating the sila, samadhi will kick in. Then samadhi will give rise to wisdom, which is panya. That's why sila, samadhi, and panya. So the rest you read yourself. Okay? Then we end. Return this to them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So this book very good. You read on a lot of very good things. Okay, now you will do the sharing of merits, starting with the Devas. Akasata ce bumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakantu lokasasana itta wata camehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabasampati siddhya idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo devo satu kalina sasa sampati hetu cha fito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mahame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu.